Hey, how's it, Cowboy Buzz? Yeah, how you doing? All right, so I'm pretty sure you heard already. Jim Brown passed away. Uh, a lot of people may think of him as a activist. You know, whenever there was issues around, he was there to um, voice his opinion or be in the middle of it and all that. Giving advice to a lot of young players that may have strayed and all that kind of stuff. Having a hard time with 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 their problems, getting out of their situations and all that. So yeah, some people think of him as an actor. Um, I was not a, like, he was like one of those box office superstars and all that, but I do remember him from a couple movies. I remember him. I'm gonna get you, sucker, and any given Sunday and all that. So you know, I know there's another lot of more movies. I just cannot think of them, but always the ones that two that's always pop in my head and all that. Um, but as a running back, I mean, any fan knows, man, he is, like, he's could be arguably the greatest player. Not this, I know everybody likes to jump to the quarterbacks and all that kind of stuff. Say, oh, they're the goat. They have to be the goat because they're the quarterback. Um, you cannot mention the NFL without mentioning Jim Brown, and and he's just one of those rare guys and all that. Um, he led the league in rushing every year. That he was in the league, and he left it. He had the title until Walter Payton broke in, and and he left the NFL early because he wanted to make more money and do other things, and because NFL was not nearly getting paid enough and all that, back then, and he decided to pursue acting and all that. So yeah, you know then Emmett Smith broke it, and it was like, if you would have stayed and all that, like, a lot of people go, oh, look at the list and all that, because the way they I mean, he would probably have a record if he would have stayed in the league, maybe longer. I don't know if like, if he would have stayed maybe like 3 4 years, 3 years more maybe. Who's to say that he would have not Emmitt Smith would have been able to break it and all that? And Emmitt Smith, the way they treat running backs nowadays, I mean, Emmitt Smith is, record is not gonna be broken. But imagine if Jim Brown would have stayed and all that. And then I know we talk about, like, for me, for Cowboy fans, we talk about Marion Barber, and then a lot of NFL fans, we know, some people talk about Derrick Henry, and then some, a lot of Seattle fans, talk about um, Marshawn Lynch. We go beast mode, beast mode, beast mode, and you know what? He was probably the original beast mode. I mean, he never stuck. John Madden used to say it all the time. He did. Yeah, like he was like, he kind of like Jim Brown. Jim Brown will never take it to the sideline and all that. He'll cut it back in just to get a few more yards and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes, for majority of the time, for Jim Brown, he'd probably he'd probably cut it back, and then when they went to tackle, he'd break that tackle and end up scoring a touchdown, and all that. So yeah. Uh, I mean, for a lot of us, we didn't see him live, but if you're a real NFL fan, you know who he is, and all that, because that's how great of a player he was. All right. I just want to, pop up, and kind of like just talk about, like, I may never watched him, that as a football player, but you know, it's still a huge loss and all that. All right, mahalo for watching, Paniolo boys. Who you with? You know who I'm with. I'm with the Dallas Cowboys.